Shiro Games, the developers behind SpaceCraft, have just released a brand new blog. They're going to continue to release these blogs going forward up until the release of the game. There's no set release date yet. They have said it's going to release in 2025. Now, if you don't know what this is, think of Star Citizen, but on a smaller scale. And, well, not millions, sorry. Yeah, well, millions and millions of dollars down the line and not really much else to show for it. It's not an over-expensive tech demo. This looks really, really cool. The universe is yours. SpaceCraft is an online space exploration and building game. Explore a vast galaxy of solar systems and planets, mine and craft resources, design and build ships, automate planetary bases, and interplanetary logistics, trade and cooperate. It is single player with online co-op. It's developed by Shiro Games, and hopefully it will be coming at some point in 2025. A lot of these dudes do say it'll be coming this year, and it never does. So we'll have to wait and see. But in March the 13th, they released a blog post. This is blog 1, and is part of a series that will cover core gameplay features and systems that are present in the tutorial. Each blog will focus on a specific step in the tutorial, giving you a better understanding of what you can expect when you get hands-on later this year. With this series, we want to take a similar approach to how you would play a typical video game, starting with the basics and move on to more advanced systems and principles as you progress, which is why we have chosen the tutorial as a starting point. This will hopefully allow you to have a better understanding and appreciation of the universe we are building. The tutorial is currently a work in progress, so please bear in mind that game footage, content and dialogue is subject to change. Before we carry on, look at the graph. 92.1% of viewers are not subscribed to the channel, with just 7.9% being subscribed. Those are rookie numbers. We got to get those numbers up. So I'd appreciate it if you are enjoying the channel and the content that we make. Subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and stick around for much more survival content. Now the first part is the tutorial begins on Babylon 7, a space station owned by the company. Now, as they're just in the tutorial phase and just making it, I don't think this is going to come in 2025. I do think this will be much later on. I don't know how far they've actually got with the development process and some of those bigger things, whether they're in there or not. The trailer looked good and showed off some pretty cool stuff. Whether any of that is going to be available at early access is yet to be seen. But the space station will serve as the primary place to refine resources, trade goods, and upgrade your gear and repair ships. While the first station in the tutorial is a single-player instance, they will act as key locations for multiplayer and cooperative interactions. We'll leave this topic for now, but we will come back to it at a later date. A dialogue will pop up. Controller U456B introduces themselves as our trainer. We are employee 115-C, an ex-convict who has just been released from prison and has earned the right to reintegrate into society, or in other words, work for the company. A quick side note regarding the character creation, it is still being worked on and the team are currently debating whether or not you will choose to have a different option for backstory of your character. When creating the character, you won't have to choose your stats or gameplay style. The option to do so will arrive later in the game because we want you to have enough experience and time to discover how you prefer to play. Cosmetic character creation, however, choosing gender, face, skin color, facial hair, will be possible from the beginning. So, as we can see here, this is the character, well, looks like the character models. You've got male and female there, which they do look really, really cool. I like the look of the spacesuits. Very futuristic, but very simplistic at the same time. They do look quite cool. Now, continuing on, our little advisor will give us good and bad and worse news. We've been assigned our very own spacecraft called the Scrappy Pioneer. We must take care of it or pay for any damage that is done to it. And we also don't have any money. We're assigned a contract telling us where to reach a nearby planet, Solar Alpha, and enter its atmosphere. We make way to Scrappy, conveniently dock behind us, and entering the ship will prompt us and ask us if we are ready to take off. Now, this is our first look at some of the ships in-game. Now, I will say it does look very cool. The space station looks massive. Whether we can explore all of this or we've just got a little bit here, and then that first screenshot is on the other side of this. We'll have to wait and see. But as you can see, the ship looks relatively cool and will be automatically docked and redocked from the space station whenever we want, but we will have full control of Scrappy and our spaceships after exiting space stations. You can pilot your spacecraft using the mouse to control the direction and W and S to increase the throttle retrospectively. We want piloting to be intuitive and easy to learn whilst trying to avoid it being overly simplistic. Outside the hangar, the piloting interface will appear, and this is the piloting interface as we can see. And as you can see, all of the planets off in the system there, which will be able to go to these at an eventual point. We might not be able to do this right at the beginning, but they have said all planets you will be able to interact to and go to. So as we can see, we've got a hull, plasma tank, skill slots, thrust bar, and battery bar. So skill slots are linked to modules. Not all modules give skills, but some can provide multiple. Thrust bar indicates how much of your engines are being pushed rather than indicating speed. Hull will indicate the spacecraft's health bar. Battery drain, this will drain when using skills and recharge with the spacecraft solar panels when in direct sunlight. And plasma tank is magnetic plasma used to do faster than light jumps. Think of our spacecraft as another main character. Upgrading it by changing and adding modules will improve its stats, changing skills, leading to different gameplay, but allow you to explore previously unattainable areas in space. We can also own multiple, but this will come at a later date. Using the shift key will activate afterburners, and this will help you reach your objective faster, but consume energy at a much higher rate. As we approach Solar Alpha 1, our orientation begins to change, and we seamlessly transition from space into the atmosphere, beginning our descent onto the surface, which I do love the look of that. It looks really, really cool. So that will automatically transition for you, I believe, when you get close enough to a planet's surface. In real life, gravity defines up and down, but in games, this has to be manually decided. Most games use a fixed up direction, but games set in space are trickier since planets have their own gravitational pull. In SpaceCraft, space has a universal up and down to help navigate and avoid disorientation. However, when entering a planet's atmosphere, the ship's orientation must shift to match the planet's gravity. To make this transition smooth, a buffer zone gradually adjusts the up direction when leaving the planet. The shift is even more seamless as the ship is already facing the sky, allowing for a natural transition back to space orientation. So overall, that is their devlog 1. Whether we're going to see these things monthly, bi-monthly, weekly, we're not 100% sure when they'll be yet. But that is it for the first one. They have said this will represent a mere few minutes worth of gameplay in the current alpha build. This will serve as a series of sneak peeks into the game, and more in-depth topics will be explored at a later date in a different format to this current one. We hope you've enjoyed reading and would love your thoughts and contents of this format. You can do so in the comments section or by joining our Discord, Instagram, Facebook or X. Now, all of the links for those are in the description down below, so I'd highly recommend checking them out. We are going to cover SpaceCraft as and when we get more news, and we'll be covering these devlogs as well. There's a lot of cool stuff in this game. I'm very excited to this. If you do like the look of this, check out Cubic Odyssey. That is a game we covered a few days ago. It will be in the top right-hand corner, and that is loads and loads of fun. Think of Minecraft meets No Man's Sky, and bang those two together in some weird sex acts, out pops Cubic Odyssey. Loads and loads of fun, great game, loving it so far. I cannot wait for the full release. There is a demo available if you do want to check that out yourself. For now though, we're going to wrap that one up there. Hopefully you've enjoyed and you're looking forward to more SpaceCraft. I've been Wired, you've been awesome, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.